Hello, friends. I'm Lynn Shematek with the Good News team. Let's meet Alison Vogrin and Chanell Abdul-Muhaimin of the Baltimore County Volunteer Center. Join our co-hosts, Deacons John Shematek and Lauren Welch, as we bring you another podcast episode in our second season of Good News, all about people making a difference in the world.
Alison Vogrin and Chanell Abdul-Muhaimin, welcome to our podcast. We are thrilled that you're with us today.
Thank you.
So you are both responsible for a lot of amazing volunteer work that goes on in Baltimore County. What I'd like to do is have you tell us a little bit about yourselves and your own journey. How did you get to this point?
Thank you for having us on the show today. I've always had a volunteer spirit for years, ever since I was a kid. As an adult, I started getting involved in volunteer activities and decided that I wanted to pursue it as a career. I joined AmeriCorps, and that really formed what I wanted to do in terms of managing volunteers. I also had a passion for working with older adults. So when I came to the Baltimore County Department of Aging, which is what our volunteer center is under, started in the volunteer capacity overseeing a AmeriCorps program, connecting volunteers 55 and over with volunteer opportunities. As that progressed and the introduction of a volunteer center came about, I applied for the position and have been the past year and a half in this role as a volunteer program manager.
Great. Chanell, what about you?
I started off as a volunteer very young. Volunteerism became my thing. So as I grew older and I got jobs, I decided that I wanted to stay in volunteerism and help people. I feel like it's a part of human services, and it's a great way to connect with the community and myself. I was born and raised in Baltimore City. I used to volunteer at all different types of platforms. I left John Hopkins Hospital. I was there for about 3 to 4 years, and I left due to a restructure, and that's how I got at the Department of Aging, Baltimore County Volunteer Center.
Thank you.
So, Alison and Chanell, can you tell us what you do in your specific jobs? I know, Alison, you're the program manager, and Chanell is the program coordinator.
Our volunteer center acts as a clearinghouse. We connect volunteers of all ages in the greater Baltimore region with volunteer opportunities. We launched this a year and a half ago, so we're still developing it. As the program manager, it's formulating where we want to go, working with nonprofits, forming relationships, doing outreach in the community, and building that relationship. I'll let Chanell explain more about some of the specific activities we have done and have coming up.
Alison, you're responsible for developing the relationships in the network of all these different, I think some of them are faith-based and others are NGOs and other kinds of entities. And so that's your basic role.
Yes, Chanell and I tag team on a lot of this together. As the manager, I'm doing more of the behind the scenes policy part or the overall operation of it, but Chanell is there right with me working on getting our word out about the program. We do overlap.
So we try to make outreach to the different agencies, get them to understand that the volunteer portal is there to help them. It's free of charge. Other than recruiting the agencies, we also give recommendations to volunteers who email us about organizations they may want to connect with. Even if they're not a user on the portal, we still connect them. We also host service days where we work with some of the agencies we support on the portal. We have a community cleanup coming up that we're participating in, and then we recruit volunteers for as well. We recently had a lunch and learn that had over 35 agencies participating, where we talk about volunteer topics that affect their organization. And we have a volunteer fair coming up pretty soon. That's another thing that we like to host once a year, where we ask all the agencies connected to our portal to come out and support volunteer recruitment.
Wow, that's great. You mentioned earlier that you're part of the Department of the Aging. I was at your website recently. It's overwhelming, all the programs that you offer and support. Lauren and I are all about connections. This is just awesome for us. Some of your programs are targeted towards seniors, and others actually enable seniors to volunteer themselves. Is that right?
Yeah. While we're housed under the Department of Aging, we're really a Baltimore County government initiative for all ages. One of the facets under the Volunteer Center is that retired and senior volunteer program, which is that AmeriCorps program that connects volunteers 55 and over with opportunities. We have two colleagues in charge of that grant program, and they work in our office. So we tag team with them. Whenever we get inquiries from somebody who is within that age range, we'll refer them over to the retired and senior volunteer program. Um, we work with the other programs in the Department of Aging that recruit volunteers. We have volunteers with the Medicare assistance program who are providing phone support and doing presentations in the community about Medicare. We have volunteers with the home team that are providing socialization, as well as delivery of food to older adults who are isolated. We have volunteers with the Ombudsman program who are going out and advocating for older adults in long term care and assisted living facilities. We have volunteers with our nutrition programs. So they're going out and making sure people who don't have access to nutritious meals are having that and coming together for socialization as well. So there's multiple programs just within the Department of Aging that we're helping to support and promote. But then, as you mentioned, there are a number out in the greater Baltimore region.
Do the recipients of the services or the entities that offer the services need to be part of Baltimore County as well?
No, they can be in the whole greater Baltimore area. They don't necessarily have to be Baltimore County. Mostly all the agencies that we have on the portal are part of Maryland.
And when we talk about the portal, we have an online platform. So that's the key feature of our volunteer center. So while you can call us and email us and ask for help in finding volunteer opportunities, that feature portal is there as a tool to empower people to search for opportunities based on their interests, accessibility, skill level, and location. It's a nice feature because it has different types of filters. We have more than 80 nonprofits in the area that are posting their needs. A volunteer can go onto the portal, find out that agency's mission, learn about where they're located, read the needs to see specifically, do I fit the age requirement? What's the time commitment involved? If someone's interested, they can go ahead and directly respond through the portal to that agency, and then the agency can follow up with the next steps. We have right now around we have over 800 users on the platform, volunteer users, and in the time that we have been, since we've launched in the October 2023, there have been over 1,200 connections made between volunteers and opportunities. We like to think of this as a one-stop shop where you can just go on, and we have comprehensive listing of all these different agencies, so you can do an easy search rather than having to search here and there. It's just in one spot. The thought is that it makes it easier. I presented to a group of students at Towson University, and part of what they had indicated as terms of volunteering with their fear was just that initial outreach to an agency. How do I find them? How do I get started? I tried to show them that this tool is to help you with that. And these are agencies that are looking for volunteers. Chanell and I are responsible for maintaining those relationships with the agencies so that we know that they are following up with the volunteers.
What are some of the challenges that you've had?
Yeah, Chanel, some of the challenges are one, this is a virtual platform. So there's the technical piece of it. Initially, we launched, and that took us a little while to get that up and running to where we needed to be. But we've got it now, and we have a great tech team that helps us with that. Two challenges, making sure our message is getting out to the public. So that's why today's platform that you're offering us is very important because a lot of people haven't heard of us. And Chanel and I are for the volunteer center are just the team of two, trying to get the word out while also being in the office handling calls and planning these programs. Those are definitely challenges.
Some challenges are making a recommendation for something that might be a little out of our field. We may not have an agency that we can match them right away with because a lot of people believe we're the ones doing the hiring for volunteers when we're just matching them with organizations. That's one of the challenges. And definitely always getting the word out that we're here. A lot of people, even me, when I first started, I did not know that there was a Get Connected portal. I didn't know that it was a place where I can take 2 minutes to log on, and register and then match myself up with different organizations creating filters. I think that's a wonderful thing because just like I was telling Allison recently, back in my day, it was a lot of cold calling, sending out emails before emails was really a big thing. And it was hard to get an answer back. The most important part is getting an answer back and finding a place that is suitable for you. A lot of volunteers ride buses. They older volunteers, they're getting rides to these places. So you want to be somewhere matched that you can rely on and just basically getting the word out, letting people know we're here.
Mhm. And I also wanted to touch upon the connector. We're a clearinghouse. A lot of times people hear Baltimore County Volunteer Center and they're an individual in the community who needs services. They reach out to us thinking we have a pool of people we can just send to offer the service. We can't do that for liability reasons. We're only working between brokering that relationship between a established nonprofit and the volunteers. It's hard when we get requests from individuals who need the services. We can refer them to agencies, but there aren't always agencies in the community to fill those gaps either.
I'm glad you made that clarification, Alison and Chanell. People might think, oh, I can call this and I'll get connected to somebody, whereas you have a trusted, vetted, established group of agencies and entities that need volunteers. So your job is to connect. Chanel, I've never heard of you guys. When I got on the website and saw that vast array of programs, it wouldn't be fair to ask if you have a favorite, but I do want to know if there are any programs you especially want to highlight. Allison, I think you said in your bio that you're an animal lover or maybe volunteer at an animal shelter from time to time. And so there's
Yes.
a whole animal services piece.
Right.
So,
Yes.
and the
Yes.
schools. This is amazing. Are there any particular programs, either Chanel or Allison, that you want to highlight, either whether there's a really special need or it might be a surprise to some of our viewers and listeners?
Having a community cleanup with Deaf Shalom Zone, an organization that provides a pantry for the greater community, but two, it offers a lot of resources and services for people who are deaf. We're going to be doing a community cleanup with them on April 12th. So it's just Saturday, and we're excited about that because we get to learn more about their needs firsthand when a volunteer contacts us about it. We can tell in more detail what it's about. It's Saturday, April 12th from 10 to 1 at Deaf Shalom Zone, which is in the Pikesville, Catonsville area. We need about 20 volunteers. It's a little bit of physical activity. We're going to be doing some cleaning, helping the stock in the pantry, but we're going to be looking forward to that. And I can just speak because there's so many organizations that we can't to narrow it down to say they're all amazing, they all do great things, but to speak to different activities we've done in the past that I'd like to plug and promote. We did a cleanup at the Benjamin Banneker Historical Parks last fall. Worked with the Baltimore County Department of Recreation and Parks as well as Yield Camp. That's an organization that connects people with nature. We did a cleanup in the park there, an organization that gets a lot of volunteers from our portal. Last spring, we went to their site and assembled food baskets that they delivered to homeless individuals throughout the state. Those are just some of the initiatives we've worked with and firsthand know what they're doing. Chanel, I don't know if you have a preference or anything for any of the organizations that you want to plug.
Um, Again, Deaf Shalom. We're going to be doing a community cleanup. I met with the manager there, the person who runs that organization, beautiful woman. She has a lot of plans for this place, and hopefully we can help clean up their community as well. Um, we recently did a group retreat
Yes.
for our division at Art with a Heart, which is a great place. I recommend it if you and the wife are looking to volunteer somewhere and get artsy and crafty. It's a great place to volunteer, and every and anything that you make goes to their store where they sell it, and the proceeds go back into the community for art programs for kids. It's a great place. And again, all of them, like Meals on Wheels, help out the community a lot for those who can't get out and get meals for themselves. You just can't pick one because everybody does a great job and pretty much contributes in some way, or shape, or form.
Great. Well, we're going to ask you for some contact information since you mentioned the April 12th event at Beth Shalom. And if someone were interested in that particular event, How do people find you? Let's say the Deaf Shalom one in particular, since you highlighted that. How would they find it?
Of course, we're recruiting it, and we'll probably have it as a spotlight on the portal. But as well, you can reach out directly to us at our phone number, which is 410-887-2733. You can leave a message to register, or you can email us at
volunteers@baltimorecounty.md.gov.
we try to make sure that we always answer people right away. Allison is really big on making sure people get a response back from us. So you will always receive a response back for us, whether it's phone call and you leave a voicemail or you send us an email. We make sure that we get back to each and every person.
Great. And did I understand you a moment ago saying you spotlight events from time to time on the website?
Yes, during our holiday, a lot of places will have spotlight like Happy Helpers, Meals on Wheels. They may have events, especially during the holiday and the Thanksgiving season, which a lot of people like to give back. Some people will be looking for one-time initiatives or ongoing initiatives, and that's a really great place to go on a portal and you can see these highlights pop up.
That's fantastic.
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing, they want to work with agencies. We do a hands-on thing with the agencies. If they can't set up their portal or they need help, we're there to pick up the phone. We have lab hours that they can call and get help and walk through it. Just like the user, we're there for the agency as well.
Super.
Yes.
I do have an additional question because most of the folks that are doing such wonderful things talk to us at some point in the discussion about money and funding. Are you completely funded by county government, or do people make donations other than volunteering?
Correct. We are solely county funds. We don't take donations, and we have a bare bones budget. The two of us and staff, the staff with the retired and senior volunteer program have their own fundings through the AmeriCorps grant. This is a countywide initiative that originally launched under the former county executive, Johnny Oshesky Jr. He wanted to see a volunteer center reinstated. There were initial funds for that. Our portal is our main primary feature. If anything, that would be our biggest expense. There would be just maintaining that online contract with the vendor. We do have other budgets for the service events, but again, we're going to the agencies and serving. So a lot of times we don't need a lot of supplies for that because the agencies already have it all on hand.
That's
But
great.
thank you for asking about the funding.
Yeah. So the main thing is to get the word out about all the amazing work that you facilitate. You make these vital connections. People are really hungry to help someone else, not just watch the news and fret about things, but what can I do that's going to make a difference in someone's life? Some of these things can be a one time, others, depending on the agency, are more ongoing, weekly, monthly, whatever people are able to do. So that's also great to hear.
On the portal, it's nice that it's set up where an agency can specify that. If it's a one-time activity, you can actually sign up for the specific date you want. So it would list out all the dates and the times, and you can select the shift. If it's an ongoing, it's more you just do a general response. Someone has to follow up with you. And most likely with an ongoing opportunity, there's more screening processes such as a background check. It may be a volunteer interview. When volunteers are going on the portal and looking for opportunities, we ask them to be mindful of your commitment level. What works with your schedule right now? And when I was with the group of students from Towson University the other day, I suggested why not start with a one time activity if an agency offers both? I used St. Vincent de Paul as an example. They have an upcoming event, the Empty Bowls event, where you can find out more about their mission and what they do. You can ease into it and possibly volunteer at one of the shelters later, but it exposes you initially. We do have a feature on the portal for youth. We have a partnership with Baltimore County Public Schools so that if a student who needs service learning hours goes to our portal, there's a link that says student service hours. They can click on it, and the agencies listed there have all met the requirements to be approved for the BCPS mandate. Those agencies have met with the office that oversees the service learning requirement and have completed the necessary training. So it makes it easier for the student because they don't need to question if this is within the framework of the requirement or not. The agencies have already said we've taken that step.
I know Lauren always has one final question.
And you all have thought of everything that a volunteer would need. You have given so much information. I would like each one of you to share some final thoughts, share why volunteerism is so important and people need to think about that.
I think volunteerism is very important because work experience, learning experience, socialization skills, you talk with people, you build relationships. It helps build the community. I'm born and raised in Baltimore. It's a place that has many small gems, nonprofits, church, faith-based places that you can build a strong sense of home with volunteerism. It's a great way to build confidence, learn skills, and just meet different people of every walk of life.
I agree completely with what Chanel said. Maybe we're a little biased because both Chanel and I are avid volunteers, but I also feel we all have a civic duty to support our community. It could even be going out and doing a cleanup or planting trees. We all have an ability to give back, and we should take advantage of that. That's a gift to be able to pass that forward, whether it be our skill or just doing something kind for others, just being able to give that forward. And that's in addition to everything that Chanel said about all the personal benefits one can get from volunteering.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you
Great.
both.
I just want to thank both of you for being here today and for sharing these stories. This is very exciting to me, and we can't wait to spread this good news and let people hear about what's right in our own backyard. All they need to do is get on the internet and they can find a way to help out and do good and maybe find a little meaning in their own lives doing so. So once again, thank you very much. We really appreciate your time and the work that you do.
Thank you for lifting this message up.
Yeah, we thank you too. People like you, if it wasn't for word of mouth and people asking the questions, no one would ever know.
That's right. We didn't know until now. So thank you. This is amazing. And John and I want to thank all who are watching and listening for the gift of your time today. Until next time, peace and blessings.
This episode of Good News has been brought to you by Listening for Clues. For more podcasts, check out our YouTube channel or our website listeningforclues.com.